Morning, everyone. Thank you very, very much for joining the Lexis Library Unmatched Content Product Tour. My name is Tato, and I will be your host this morning. Again, thank you for making the time. Excuse me, everyone. I just need to just close my emails. My apologies for that. Thank you for making the time to attend the training. And I will be taking you through the research areas within Lexis library. And as you can see, I have already logged in. Right, so the research areas table of content allows you to view all LexisNexis online content relating to a subject area across all different content types. And this will make relevant content easily accessible, and it will cut down on your research time, and it will allow you to be more effective. So let me just take you through the outline of what we will be covering today. Excuse me. We will cover where the research areas are located within your table of content. And we will also cover the extent of the content under your research areas. And I'll take you into one of the research areas to show you the nature of the content and how the content is laid out. And lastly, I'll show you some features that are available to you to enhance your experience. So let us look at where you can locate your research area. So your research area, you will locate it in your table of content on your left-hand side. And as you can see on the top of content types, you're able to click on research areas. Alternatively, you will also be able to view your research area on the South African flag. Now, those are the two areas where you'll be able to view your research areas. Okay, so for now, we are going to look at the research area within your table of content on the left-hand side. So I'm going to close my research areas that we accessed on the South African flag. Okay, so we've got about 36 research areas that are identified. And they are a great way of finding all information related to a particular topic. And as you can see, as I scroll down, you'll have different research areas around your corporate and commercial. You've got family law and persons. We have information around your intellectual property, labor and employment, shipping. We've got your VAT, as well as your wills, trust and estates. And these are some of the research areas that we have available. So by way of example, we'll take a detailed look at one of the research areas, and I'm going to use labor and employment as an example. Notice that I can also expand my table of content just to hover over the border so we can have a better view of the content there. So let us open up the research area, labor and employment. And as you can see under that particular heading itself, or that research area, labor and employment, it shows you the different types of contents that are available under that particular topic. And all the information you see is related to labor and employment. And this example that I'm showing you is also applicable to all the other research areas that are available to you. Okay, so as you can see, you'll be able to view national legislation, LOSA, commentary, practical guidance, all the way through to your sectoral determination. And all this information is related to labor and employment only. So let us start with accessing national legislation. So as I click on national legislation, this will allow you to access labor-related legislation. And in addition, it will give you a view of bills as well as pending amendments that will sit under that specific national legislation. For example, if you're working with the Labor Relations Act, you'll be able to find it there, and I can click on it. As soon as I click on it, notice that it opens up on the right-hand side. I can also close my table of content for a better view. It will allow you access to the Act, the rules and the regulations, Once I go into the Act, you will then notice that my screen has now split into two. Here you'll be able to view the full Act, section by section. All our acts are fully downloadable in PDF and in a Word document. Alternatively, you can download here, PDF or Word. And you will notice on the right-hand side, we have a flyout called the Legal Citator. Now, the Legal Citator will show you all case law that reference each section of the Act. So if I were to open section 6, you will see that I will have access to case law, or any other section that I'm dealing with. I can then open it up and then it gives me access to case law that reference each section of the Act. Let us close this tab and go back to our table of content to the Labor Relations Act. And as you can see, that is there you will find all national legislation related to the practice area, labor and employment. Let us move on to the next heading. Our next heading is your cases. And as you can see under cases, we'll have cases coming from different law reports, the All South African law reports, arbitrational law reports, constitutional and your labor law reports. Now, with regards to cases, it will allow you quick access to cases from the applicable law report series listed by subject area. So by that, I mean, if I open up your All South African law reports, you'll see all the subject areas that are related to labor and employment. So again, it makes it easy to find relevant cases. So if I'm looking for cases related to restraint of trade, all I do is click on restraint of trade. The system has gone into the All South African law reports, and then it has then selected cases for me dealing with that particular subject. As I will close the table of content, and these are all the cases I can access from there. So as you can see, you'll be able to access the cases by clicking on the hyperlinks on the citation. If I wanted to open this particular case, I click on the citation. I've got the judgment on the left-hand side. And we've got our flyout again, the Legal Citator. The Legal Citator basically is the analysis of the case. What it does is it goes and it reads the case for you and provides you with an analysis on the right-hand side, again, saving you research time. Just to take you through some of the headings that you are seeing here, you have your subject index. Your subject index will basically give you all the key aspects that this case dealt with. Again, you don't have to read the entire case for you to identify if this case is relevant or not. You can then just click on the plus sign and identify what are the key areas that this case dealt with. From this point, you can then decide if this case is relevant, and you can then go and read the full judgment. Some of the other headings, we've got your judgment treatment. Your judgment treatment will then identify all your subsequent cases or future cases that basically referred to this case, considered this case, followed this case, or applied this particular case. Okay, so I see that we do have a question. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, I will attend to your questions after we have gone through the research area training itself, tour itself. And that's your judgment treatment. And lastly, I will then show you your judgments cited by court. And these are all the judgments that are cited in this particular matter. We give you the case names and all the cases are hyperlinked. Let us close these tabs and we will go back to our research areas. It also applies with your constitutional law reports as well as your labor law reports as well. Let us close the heading cases and we will then move on to our LOSA. LOSA is basically our encyclopedic work. It's a good starting point when you want to do research. Again, it allows you quick access to the volumes applicable to the practice area that you've selected. In this case, it is labor and employment law. And this will show you only relevant volumes related to labor and employment, and you won't be able to see all the 64 volumes. And as you can see, in the future, we will have a specialized webinar that will deal with LOSA only. So if I wanted to do research under labor law in this particular volume, I just open it by clicking on the red arrow. If my research is under individual labor law, I will click, and then I will then select my topic from there. Once I've selected my topic, I will then get the information opening up on my document pane, where it gives me the general overview of the topic I've selected. As I scroll down, you'll see your footnotes where it links you to case law, applicable legislation, and it will also reference you or cross-reference you to other commentary work that we have. Let us close LOSA. I'm going to close the tab. And then as we move on to the next heading, we are going to look at commentary. And this will allow you to easily access all relevant commentary and reference material related to labor and employment. And you will notice that there are about 12 commentary works listed that cover different aspects of labor and employment. So as you can see, we've got different publications or textbooks, starting from your agreements in restraints of trade in South African law. We've got your labor law through the cases. We have your retrenchments law in South Africa, all the way through to your social media in the workplace, strikes, and the law. And these are all the publications that we have related to this particular practice area. We also have journals that are available that will, we have your employment law journal as well as payroll world. And under our forms and precedents, as I click on it, you will see that we have different contract templates that cover your individual law, labor law, your social legislation, your health and safety. And these are your checklists, your contract templates that will assist you with drafting, and they are fully downloadable in a Word document so that you are able to make any amendments or edit the document. And we will move on to the next one, and the next one is getting the deal through. And this is being discontinued, so we are not going to discuss it because it is discontinued. And then we move on to the next one, which is our practical guidance. So practical guidance is available as a separate subscription from Lexis Library. And what it does is that it covers 30 practice area that covers a range of subjects and topics by our expert authors. And basically this resource is focused on the practical application of the law, which is this practical guidance. And I'm just going to open up one of the modules. As I open labor, you will see that it covers different topics. And within these topics, you'll be able to find your guidance notes that discuss areas of the law in a very practical way. So if I were to click under dismissal, you will see these are some of the subtopics that are available. So here you will find guidance notes. You will also find supporting cases to the topic that you would have selected, as well as supporting legislation. And there are also relevant templates and checklists that will be provided for you. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind that practical guidance is a separate subscription that you will have to subscribe to outside of Lexis Library. Okay, and then moving on to the next topics, we will have your codes of good practice. Just to open it up, and you'll see that we've got codes of good practice around Labor Relations Act, Employment Equity Act, and so forth. And we'll also open up your sectoral determinations, and you will have those sectoral determinations covering different sectors. Right. So we have used one example, ladies and gentlemen, but as I had explained earlier on, this one example applies to all the research areas that are available, depending on the type of information or publications that we have for that specific research area. Just a quick recap again, you will find your research areas in your table of content just above your content type. Alternatively, you will find them on the South African flag. You can close my table of content and you'll be able to view them from that point. And as stated, there's about 36 practice areas with various publications available for you to select. So from this demonstration, ladies and gentlemen, I think you will agree that the research area is a great way to access all information related to a specific subject. Again, this will cut down on your research time and it will allow you to be really effective. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to check if we've got any questions so that I can then attend to those.
Hi, Tato, we have one question. If you can please go back to the labor research area under the All South African Law Reports, just to show where to find the restraint of trade cases, please.
Thank you very much, Andrea. So we will go back to your research area and let us go under labor and employment again. Then under labor and employment practice area, you've got a heading cases. And then under cases, you'll view different law reports. I then went into the South African Law Report where you'll be able to view cases per subject area. And there's our restraint of trade. You will click on restraint of trade. Now what the system has done is it has gone into your All South African Law Reports and have selected cases that are only dealing with restraint of trade. I will then close the table of contents so that we can have a better view. And then you will also be able to see that we'll give you a mini summary of what that case is about, or the key aspects that this case deals with. You can then access the case by clicking on the citation. And then you've got the judgment on the left-hand side. Again, with the judgment, we give you key areas. And we will also show you we have the editor's summary so that it gives you an idea of what the case is about. And then on the right-hand side, we've got your legal citator again, that gives you the analysis of the case. These are some of the features that we have available. Note that all our judgments are fully downloadable as well. You can click on document option, download by PDF or Word. Alternatively, we have a view full PDF feature where you can click on it and it will then download the case for you. I hope that answers your question. Do we have any other questions?
Thank you, Tato. I'll check. Tato, there's one question with regards to which topic is excluded from the research package. I think what Mr. Levendahl is referring to is maybe if they're not subscribed to certain research areas or the research within.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that question. When it comes to packaging, we have different packages that are available for you that will suit your needs in that. So Once you've selected your publications, you will then be able to access what you are subscribed to within your research areas. However, if you are not subscribed to that particular publication, it will tell you that you are not subscribed to that area. But rest assured, we will get someone to contact you to give you full information when it comes to packages and what is included and excluded in that aspect of things. Okay, any other questions, Andrea?
No, Tato.
Yeah, I think there is a question from Itumeleng. And Itumeleng, I see that you were looking for a specific case and you could not find that case. Because at this point in time on this platform, I will not be able to do case law research with you. So what I'm going to ask Andrea to do is, Andrea, please note down Itumeleng's details, and then we will get in contact with Itumeleng and we'll be able to assist you on a one-on-one basis at no cost at all. Okay, so while we're still waiting for other questions, we are running a poll. May I ask that you please take some time and complete the poll before we end the session. This will really assist us in terms of improving on the webinars that we will be hosting moving forward. Andrea, if you would just please put up the poll. Okay, so we will wait for questions. While we're waiting, you should be able to see a poll coming up. You are also welcome to unmute yourself and to ask a question if you don't want to post it on the Q&A or on the chat. Andrea, are we able to put up the poll? Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for making the time and attending our unmatched product tour. And so if you can just please take 2 minutes of your time to just complete the poll for us. Thank you very much to those that have completed the poll thus far. If you have not completed the poll, please take a minute of your time and complete the poll for us. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. This brings us to the end of our session. Please do enjoy your day and keep well and keep safe.